Miranda Spencer traced the delicate lace of her wedding gown with trembling fingers. The Spencer estate glittered under afternoon sun, trimmed hedges, rose-arched trellises, and a sparkling lake beyond. Friends and family gathered in white folding chairs, whispers of champagne flutes and laughter drifting like music. Her new husband, Evan Conway, met her at the altar. His warm smile and unwavering gaze promised a lifetime of devotion. As they exchanged vows beneath the Spencer elm, an ancient tree said to bless every union, Miranda felt invincible. But as she turned to accept congratulations, her new sister-in-law, Lydia Conway, stood at the edge of the crowd, pale, admiring, smile too carefully measured. Miranda noticed Lydia's eyes flick from Evan's face to Miranda's, a glimmer of something colder than familial affection. Moments later, as the string quartet played, Miranda's best friend Grace Holloway pressed a note into her hand. "Watch Lydia. I heard her with Grandpa last night. She's angling for more than cousin loyalty." Miranda's heart clenched. The Conway branch of the Spencer fortune was vast. The will, read only days before, had granted Evan a joint trust, but hinted at a final bequest to the first male heir, and Lydia's husband, Evan's brother Tristan, had no children yet. Should Evan remain childless, the inheritance could revert, potentially to Lydia if she maneuvered wisely. As the sun dipped, painting the lake blood orange, Miranda realized her fairy tale had opened on a knife's edge. A sister-in-law's smile could mask a plot to siphon every penny of her new husband's legacy. As you'll follow Miranda's perilous path, family ties and tensions, the storied Spencer dynasty, Lydia's calculated entrance, and the Cold War begun in polite smiles. The inheritance at stake, the will's hidden clauses, Miranda's sleepless nights poring over legalese, and the stakes that turned bloodkin to rivals. Subtle sabotage. How Lydia disrupted family heirlooms, seeded doubt with offhand remarks, and used charm to unsettle Miranda's confidence. Gathering intel, Miranda's alliance with Grace, an estate law specialist, stakeouts at the boathouse, and secret recordings that escalate tension. The family reunion, a lakeside weekend retreat where spilled wine, whispered confessions, and a broken locket nearly exposed the conspiracy. Confrontation and deception, Miranda's formal dinner trap, Lydia's theatrical counter-accusation, and the fallout among stunned guests. The truth revealed, a hidden journal, Lydia's tearful confession, and the discovery of the real mastermind behind the Conway scheme. Aftermath and forgiveness, the Spencer will's final reading, Evan's magnanimous choice, and the fragile bridge extended between sisters-in-law. Expert Advice Corner, a family counselor's guidance on healthy in-law boundaries, and an estate attorney's tips to protect inheritance rights. Cliffhanger, Love Last Ruse. Next, a centuries-old portrait concealed in the Spencer Gallery hides a forbidden romance and betrayal that will sweep Miranda back into intrigue. Can Miranda unmask a kinship killer before her new marriage becomes a casualty? Or will distrust corrode the very bonds she's sworn to uphold? Hit play to step into a world where loyalty and deception entwine like ivy on ancient walls. The Spencer estate had long been the jewel of Albany County, its ivy-clad manor built by William Spencer in 1820, gardens designed by his beloved wife Eleanor, and a legacy passed down through generations. As a child, Miranda had grown up attending summer picnics beneath the elm, cousins racing through lilac hedges, and whispered ghost stories at dusk. The Conway branch arrival. When her sister-in-law Lydia Conway first arrived, tall, poised, with auburn hair swept back in an elegant chignon, Miranda felt a subtle shift. Lydia, the widow of Evan's late cousin Peter, had moved from Boston under the guise of family solidarity after Peter's untimely passing. At the rehearsal dinner in the estate's grand dining room, Lydia toasted to new beginnings with measured warmth that didn't quite reach her eyes. Miranda's first impressions. Over glasses of vintage Spencer Chardonnay, Lydia leaned close and murmured, "Your future is bright, Miranda. The Spencers always know how to honor tradition." Yet her gaze flicked toward Evan's father, Richard, as if calculating his favor. Miranda's heart fluttered, unease taking root. Sibling rivalry revealed. At the reading of William Spencer's will 2 nights later, the family gathered in the oak-paneled library. The lawyer, Miss Jameson, cleared her throat. "To my eldest granddaughter, Miranda Spencer Conway, I leave the family manor and its grounds. To my grandson, Evan Conway, the trust income for life, with final distribution to his direct heirs. Should he die without issue, the estate shall pass to my youngest daughter's line, currently represented by Lydia Conway. Gasps rippled through the room. Miranda's fiancé, Evan, paled. Lydia's lips curved in a secretive smile. Tristan, Evan's younger brother, blinked in confusion. In that moment, the Spencer inheritance transformed from distant tradition to a battlefield. Tremors of rivalry. In the days that followed, small tensions fanned into flame. Heirloom disputes. Lydia casually questioned the placement of Miranda's childhood portrait in the gallery. Shouldn't this be with Peter's memory? She suggested, planting doubt. Social maneuvers. At a polo match, Lydia accidentally offered to arrange for Evan's trust to fund the Spencer Family Foundation, a subtle reminder of her influence. Polite coldness. During morning tea with Richard and Eleanor, Lydia congratulated Miranda on the manor, then casually hinted, "I only wish Peter had lived to inherit." Miranda forced a smile as her grandmother's eyes glistened with sorrow. By the time the rehearsal dinner concluded, Miranda knew she was at war with her own in-law, masked in polite propriety and envious ambition. Miranda spent the next morning in the estate's sunlit library, poring over scanned pages of William Spencer's codicils. The legal language felt labyrinthine, yet the stakes lay bare. Miranda's entitlement, the manor and grounds, her home, her sanctuary, were unequivocally hers. Evan's trust, income for life with principal reserved for his heirs. Without children, the remainder would pass to Lydia's branch. Residency clause. To secure her inheritance, Miranda had to reside on the estate at least 180 days per year. Her heart raced as she realized Lydia's incentives. If Evan and Miranda failed to produce an heir, through emotional manipulation or discord, Lydia would inherit the entire estate's value. Worse, Richard and Eleanor's declining health made a swift succession plausible. Fear and resolve mingled. Miranda resolved to safeguard her marriage and secure her claim. Lydia's maneuvers accelerated. Misplaced heirlooms. At a midday garden tour, Miranda discovered the antique Spencer locket, passed from Eleanor, missing. Lydia feigned concern, then produced it from her purse with a soft laugh. "I found this by the pond. You must be more careful." Poisoned remarks. At breakfast, Lydia mused, "A long line of Spencer's daughters have struggled in this house. I worry about the burden you bear." Miranda's cheeks flushed as the family exchanged sympathetic glances. Social undermining. Lydia invited Eleanor and Richard privately to a planning meeting for the upcoming harvest ball, subtly excluding Miranda, sowing seeds of doubt about her competency. Each act felt innocuous on its own, but together they formed a pattern of rivalry that threatened Miranda's sense of home. Determined to expose Lydia, Miranda enlisted Grace Holloway, her best friend and a junior estate attorney. Over late-night tea in the conservatory, they plotted surveillance, recorded conversations. Grace discreetly provided a digital recorder disguised as a pen. Stakeouts. Miranda watched Lydia's planner meeting at the Orangery. Grace monitored phone logs for odd calls. Document checks. Grace gained temporary access to the family trust's financial statements, searching for irregular payments or references to Lydia. Within days, they captured incriminating snippets. Lydia on speakerphone, negotiating with a local developer to purchase a parcel of estate land at below-market rates, and gently chiding a trustee, "We must ensure the Spencer line progresses under capable heirs, yes?" Armed with recordings and documents, Miranda felt vindicated, yet also vulnerable. Grace cautioned, "Use this wisely. Public exposure can fracture family bonds irreparably." Miranda nodded. Her loyalty to Evan and his family held firm, even as she readied her defense. The autumn reunion at Lake Wyoma brought the entire Spencer Conway clans together in a rented lakeside lodge. Crisp air, flickering fire pits, and laughter echoed across the water. But beneath the festive veneer, Miranda and Lydia danced a silent waltz of suspicion. The dropped wine glass. During the evening toast, Lydia accidentally knocked over Miranda's glass, shattering it to spray red Pinot Noir across Miranda's gown. Apologies flowed from Lydia, but whispers spread. Careless bride. The private meeting. Miranda spotted Lydia slipping away with Richard, her grandfather, toward the boathouse. Through half-open doors, Miranda heard Lydia murmur, "You must consider revising the will to extend Clause 5B. Richard's reply was inaudible, but his nod was chilling. The locket's return. Miranda found her heirloom locket on her pillow, again discovered. This time, Lydia claimed it was a gesture of reconciliation. Patience thinning, Miranda and Grace gathered everyone for a lakeside photo. When the camera's flash lit their faces, Miranda's hand tightened on Grace's, and she mouthed, "Now." That evening, in the grand dining hall lit by candelabra, Miranda enacted her trap. She wore the Spencer locket visibly and arranged Lydia beside her at the head table. As toasts commenced, Miranda rose. "Before we begin, I have a confession and gratitude. Lydia returned my grandmother's locket twice, but I discovered it missing 3 times from the family vault. I also overheard discussions about amending the will to change my inheritance." Gasps rippled. Lydia's face drained. Richard looked torn. Eleanor dabbed her eyes. Miranda continued, producing Grace's recorded transcript. "Ensure the Spencer line progresses under capable heirs," Miranda quoted Lydia. "Isn't a toast. It's a plan." Lydia's defenses rose. She called it a misinterpretation, accusing Miranda of smearing my name. The table fractured. Some supported Lydia's pleas, others rallied behind Miranda's evidence. "I cherish this family and this estate. My marriage is strong. I intend to honor our legacy. But I will not stand silent while someone schemes to betray that trust." The hall crackled with tension. Lydia's mask slipped. Her once poised composure fractured into angry tears. Guests murmured in divided allegiances. Late that night, Miranda found Lydia in the garden's labyrinth. Moonlight dripped from turning leaves. "You've proved yourself the better Spencer." "I didn't come here to shame you. I came to understand." Lydia's shoulders sagged. She revealed a secret journal. She had long felt marginalized as the other daughter, widowed young with no children, desperate to secure her place. She feared the Spencer legacy slipping away and grasped at power. "I loved Peter. After he died, I had nothing. I thought, I needed this family as much as you." Miranda's anger softened to compassion. She closed the journal. "Your family," she said quietly. "Let's fix this, together." At dawn, the Spencer family gathered once more. Richard and Eleanor, moved by the evening's drama, announced, "We revoke any clause that bypasses Miranda's heirs. The estate shall remain strictly with Miranda's line." Tristan, Lydia's brother-in-law by marriage, offered Lydia a small cottage on the grounds. Lydia, tears glistening, embraced Miranda. Grace and Evan stood by Miranda's side, smiling. Expert advice corner, family therapist, guidance, in-law boundaries. Establish clear communication channels and roles at family gatherings. Mediation. Use a neutral counselor to address grievances before they escalate. Empathy exercises. Share personal narratives to build understanding among relatives. Estate attorney. Tips. Will clarity. Include unambiguous residuary clauses to prevent manipulation. Trust protections. Set up irrevocable trusts for primary heirs with independent trustees. Periodic reviews. Update estate plans after major life events, marriage, death, or remarriage. As the Spencer estate returned to peace, Miranda discovered an old oil portrait in the gallery, an unknown couple beneath Venetian arches, bound by moonlight and mystery. Inscribed on the frame, "Love lasts when lies fade." Her pulse quickened. The painting's subject, a Spencer ancestor and her Venetian lover, hinted at a centuries-old ruse hidden in family lore. Next up, Love Last Ruse, where a lost portrait and an ancient promise threatened to reignite passion and peril across generations.